Well, we are looking forward to seeing you all. We're so excited that you are our first 40 participants that signed up, took the leap, and joined us for an amazing experience. And we're so excited. Hopefully, you've been getting the correspondence we've been sending. We will be sending additional information in the next 2 to 3 days about scheduling and logistics and things that everyone's kind of wondering about. But we wanted to welcome everyone and take the opportunity to introduce ourselves, because there's a few people probably on here that may or may not have joined an adventure that we have been doing for a lot of years. So Sue's going to start. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sue Powers. I'm one of the co-owners of Nancy Lopez Golf Adventures. I'm a Class A professional and TPI certified National Teacher of the Year, Top Teacher of the Year, and we've been doing Nancy Lopez Golf Adventures for about 6-7 years. And we're excited that you're joining us for the Solheim Cup, and we look forward to cheering on the USA. We will have red, white, and blue on all the time we're at the Solheim Cup.
Marge is
Marge is always
her,
ready.
she's got her scarf on.
We were just sitting here like, we don't have any red, white, and blue on, but we're all traveling, so we didn't carry our red, white, and blue with us. So forgive us, please.
And we actually are in Detroit Airport. We flew through there, and there's a big sign, the Solheim Cup. So it's pretty cool when you come off the plane and you go down the elevator, you'll see a big sign with a couple of players on it.
Great.
And I'm Teresa Zamboni, also co-owner of Nancy Lopez Golf Adventures, top 50 LPGA instructor and National Teacher of the Year, also TPI certified. When I'm not traveling with these wonderful ladies, I'm located in Port Orange, Florida, where I teach at a club there, and Sue's on the West Coast in Venice, Florida. And it is our most unbelievable privilege to bring you 48-time winner, LPGA and World Golf Hall of Fame member.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Yes, thank you. It's exciting. I look forward to seeing you on the grounds at the Solheim Cup. I will be there, and of course, we want to win that cup back, because unfortunately we lost it a couple of years ago. But you know, it's good to let them win it once in a while, which is okay. Not very often, but it's a great experience. You all, if you have never been to Solheim Cup, it is amazing. I played in the first Solheim Cup in 1990. I captained in 2005. I captained the juniors in 2009. And then in the last three out of the last 6 years, which is, of course, it's alternating every year, I was assistant captain to Julie Inkster. And it's quite an experience to be behind the scenes, because you've got all these great players that you get to watch for 2 years and watch them get ready to play in the Solheim Cup. And the thing about the Solheim Cup, it's every player's goal to get on the Solheim Cup team. If you ask them what their goal is, it's not to win a tournament, which they have to probably to get on the Solheim Cup, but it's to get on the Solheim Cup. So the competition is awesome. The atmosphere is awesome. You get there, everybody's wearing red, white, and blue, or gold and blue, the blue that the Europeans wear. And you're on the first tee, the excitement of getting the players off and everybody yelling USA. It is so loud on that first tee. And then the other team, the European fans that are there, they're yelling for Europe. You'll hear chanting. It's just the best experience of any event. And when I tell people to go to an LPGA event, that's the one they need to go to. And of course, you've got Sue and Teresa that are going to be, helping you guys get around and entertaining and some golf. So
Hey, you're missing the Zoom call.
So we like to say that if you've ever gone to a college or professional football game, this is a football experience, screaming, cheering, hollering for the USA the entire 4 days that you're there watching. So it's one of the most unique experiences, as Nancy said, where you'll be cheering on at times when you don't think you should be cheering, everyone's cheering. And we will have song sheets, just so you know. So there will be song sheets, and we will be singing in the stands, very patriotic songs, and just get ready. It's going to be amazing. It really is.
And usually what happens when we do the songs, we practice them, and then by the time we get to the event, it becomes Go USA. We sing the song, we're like, okay, let's skip that song. Let's just go red, white, blue. So it becomes very simple sometimes for us.
And if you're shy at all, it's all gone. You lose shyness. You just have a great.
And the players do like us to cheer. So, we went to one, I think it was in Iowa, and the crowd was so polite, and we're like, come on, we got to get excited and start cheering and stuff. So, it's okay to cheer. They really do like it. You'll see some of the players going, hey, come on, let's get it louder. So it's unlike a different golf event. It's not quiet for sure.
No, for sure.
Is just so we can see everyone's hands. Whose is the first time you're going to the Solheim Cup? Can you raise your hand? This is your first time. So we've got a pretty good number of people. Okay. Well, you'll want to go to every single one of them after this experience.
Amen.
That's what I've heard from other friends who have gone.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Good.
Now, we wanted to find out, does anyone have any questions on your end for Nancy before she's going to tell a couple stories? But does anyone have any questions for Nancy or Sue or I before we get going?
Questions. I can't find what hotel we're in.
I'm sorry?
I can't find in the paperwork what hotel we're staying at.
Oh, okay. It's a Courtyard by Marriott. It's Toledo, Holland, by the airport. And if any of you are flying into the Toledo airport, just send me an email as to your arrival so I can make sure there's enough shuttles for you. But if everyone's coming into Detroit, you don't need to email me on that. But we will send out, Sue and I will send out another correspondence with the agenda and the hotel information. As soon as we get back this weekend, we'll send that out next week.
Yeah, because at the Sunday, after Sunday, they will be picking the final 3 players for the team. So we'll know who is on the team next week. So we'll send out information on that and what Teresa said about the hotel and more on the itinerary for the event.
This is Carlotta. I have a question about the competition afterward, how that's going to be set up and what we can expect for that.
Sure. It's a 2-day event and it's a team event. So if you're traveling with someone and you'd like to play with that person, usually Sue and I will pair you up together to play. If you're coming as a single participant, we'll pair you up with someone with a similar handicap to compete against. Sue takes one team, I take another team, and Sue's team, the last Lopez Cup, was victorious. So
Finally. Yes.
my team is going to have to battle it out to try to get the Lopez Cup back. But the first day is a one best ball of the 2 players. The second day is scramble for 9 holes and individual matches for 9 holes. So we try to have similar formats that the girls will be playing at the Solheim Cup. So you'll have watched them and then you get to experience it yourself when we play. The first day will be an afternoon shotgun at 12:30, I believe. And the second day will be an 8:30 shotgun. And both days we'll have lunch and then we'll do prizes and the presentation of the Lopez Cup on the second day, whichever team gets that.
Yeah. And it's a fun event. It's handicapped, not a lot of pressure, and it's a team event. But it's a lot of people get concerned that it's really competitive, but it is competitive, but it's fun. We have a lot of fun with it.
Are we wearing particular bottoms with the shirts?
Well, Marge, I hope you're going to wear bottoms, but
She's on your team. I'm just saying.
Yes, we will send out that when we send the information next week. We have shirts for the participants. Anyone who's playing, you'll get a team shirt as well, and each day you'll wear a different color, and we'll let you know the bottoms And to your point, Marge, what your choices can wear.
Red, white, and blue. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
red, white,
yeah,
and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you also send out something, as far as what the activities are, if there's any particular dress code for them? I mean, I know that we're going to be wearing golf clothes in red, white, and blue when we're at the tournament itself, but are there any evening activities that maybe we should pack something a little dressier or what? Or will you send out that information?
We can do that. And just as an FYI, for the golf event itself at Inverness, you're not required to wear collared shirts or anything like that. So if you wore a t-shirt or anything like that, you will be allowed to enter. It's not as strict as it would be if you were going to play golf. Like Sue and I will probably wear, a t-shirt one day, maybe a golf shirt another day. But yes, that we'll send some stuff out.
Yeah. But most of our events, even in the evening, it'll be casual wear. It won't be
Resort casual.
Resort casual.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's a clear bag restriction for the golf course?
No, I don't believe so.
They have certain size restrictions for the bag, but we will be giving you a bag, so you don't have to worry about it being the right size. What we're giving you is correct.
Okay.
But they do have restrictions on the bag size and type.
If you go on the Solheim Cup website, the actual website, if they haven't done it yet, they should be putting up whatever the restrictions are.
Thank you.
So to clarify, for the tournament, you're going to tell us based on what team we're on, what colors to wear, and then we provide those outfits.
We will provide the 2 shirts for you, and you'll provide your bottoms.
Awesome, thank you. I
Everyone's
want to be on the
their
team
own
that wears
bottoms.
bottoms.
Yeah. My team is going to wear bottoms.
Okay, I want to be on your team then.
Sure.
I have a question about transportation. This is our first time. My name's Roxanne, and the shuttles from the hotel to the course, and then from the opening ceremony the first night. Will you be sending out more detailed information?
We will. Actually, we just firmed up the coach schedule with the company because we have a lot of folks going. So we firmed that up. And just as an FYI, the opening ceremony night, there'll be our reserve tickets include the Gwen Stefani concert that is at 8 o'clock. The other part of it, 10 o'clock is when the fireworks are. So if you stay for the concert, I think we'll have one shuttle that's coming back around 9, but once you stay, then you'll come back on the very last shuttle, which probably will be about 10:30 at night.
Okay.
But we'll send out all the shuttle information as well.
Transportation to the course, is it just once in the morning and then return at night, or whenever
No, there'll be a
everything's over?
schedule. It'll be, some folks like to go super early when the gates open. So we'll have varying times in the morning and varying times coming
Okay.
back as well.
Yeah, so
I
it'll be
didn't
through-
know if there were more options to go back and forth. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it'll be throughout the day. So we'll probably have 3 or 4 different times that you can go to and from.
And the nice thing about where we're staying is it's the closest hotel to Inverness. So we're only about 10 minutes if there's not a lot going on. So we're giving it about 15 minutes back and forth.
Is there a way other than on the Solheim page to reserve a radio? On course radio?
Through the Solheim, yeah, they did put out an email about the radios. So I think that's probably the only way to reserve one.
Okay,
We can check, Marge. Sue and I will check to see if there is a way to reserve them other than that. And if so, we'll let you know. We'll let the group know.
okay. That was a fantastic advantage because you could be watching 2 holes over here and you heard what was going on the other side of the course. So, and it was $15, I think.
Right. It had a little Solheim Cup logo on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it hanging up.
Good questions. Anybody else?
I don't remember about chairs. We didn't have any, but I can't remember there. We always went to the grandstands for the most part, but I'm not sure I can't remember if they let people in with chairs. So that probably
They sell those little chairs that are those square ones, like that big, and then they have the handle and you sit down on them. So I imagine that they would be doing that again this time, but we can find out.
Yeah, so we'll do when we send
probably smaller, better than.
Yeah, so when we send out our information, we'll have a little sections on the do's and don'ts. So we'll find out, about chairs and the bags and all that. So you'll know what you can and cannot bring to the events.
And the other thing is the pavilion the Meyer Pavilion, where we have tickets for, it has an indoor and an outdoor option. And it's the biggest pavilion they've ever had, meaning you can see 5 different holes from that pavilion. So it's a nice vantage point if you're not wanting to walk around, but you still want to see a lot of golf that's going on. So that's another option that we have if you don't want to, walk the course.
And then there's the Lopez Village tents. What do you have with you?
So we'll probably have a meeting. We'll have a meeting spot maybe one day in front of, but that's going to be kind of where, if we want to meet the group, that's where we'll go. It's easy to recognize off 18.
And for the opening ceremony, our group, you do have reserved seating, so you'll actually have a seat, and so you won't be standing for the 2 to 3 hours. So that was. I appreciate that at my age. I was like, I'm going to be able to sit down. So we will be in a different section than some of the other people attending this opening ceremony.
We'll be near the VIPs.
Yeah,
that's where we're going to be.
Near the
You know if I can bring in a sun umbrella?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I think, again, we'll look at that. We'll make sure you have all of the information prior. We'll get that all together for you.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, does the Solheim have any COVID restrictions at all? I mean, obviously this is an issue these days.
Well, we've been, as we mentioned in our email, we have been monitoring that, and we have been in contact with the Solheim group. And as they do and we do, we'll follow state and CDC guidelines, whatever those are at the time of the event. So we will have to wait till we get closer to see what those are. That's kind of why we haven't sent anything out. But, as always, the masks are your option, regardless if it's, what is required or not. And most of our activities on the golf course, obviously, those are outside. The events at the hotel, the reception, the food will be inside, and weather permitting, our events will be outside. So we're taking every step we possibly can to ensure we just can't control the weather. That's the only thing that will kind of hinder where we can be.
Thanks.
There is a concern about no spectators at different venues. The Little League World Series in Pennsylvania just initiated no spectators next week. So hopefully things will be clearing up by the time we get to Ohio.
Yep, absolutely. We're all hoping that. I know the players and the Solheim group, everybody's on the same page on that. So just keep doing what we can do.
So Nancy, when you were captain, what was it like captaining the girls, and what did you have to do to prepare them for the competition?
Well, I have to take you back to the first Solheim Cup in 1990. It was at Lake Nona outside of Orlando. And I think there were only 8 players on the team at that time. Kathy Whitworth was our captain. And, where it started and where it's come is like unbelievable. That first Solheim Cup, I played on the Curtis Cup and the World Cup as an amateur, but as a professional, never had an event like that. And so we were wondering what it was going to be like. Of course, I always kind of joke that it was only family and friends that were out there watching this. And so as we went there, Pat Bradley was my partner that first year.
Video.
And
Trying, I don't
that
know
is
how.
so important at this event. And back then in 1990, we didn't have any strategy. It was just, we're going to hit. Once we got out there, first thing was alternate shot. And now with strategy, alternate shot, the player that might be teeing off on the even holes or odd holes, who's better at hitting into the greens, who's better iron player, and then who do you want putting? So there's a lot of strategy now that we didn't have back then. I mean, the first year that both Pat Bradley and I stepped on the first tee, we're up there. I'd already won quite a few tournaments. She'd won a few tournaments. But there was a lot of pressure, and the players of today, they feel that pressure representing the United States, their country. And so when we stepped on that first tee, we didn't have strategy. I looked over at Pat, and I was really nervous. She was really nervous. And I said, "How are you feeling?" She goes, "I feel nervous." And she said, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I feel nervous." And I said, "You want to hit first?" "No, you hit first." I said, "No, you hit first."
Okay.
So, that was our strategy, and it was terrible, but we ended up winning that first match, and that first match was against Laura Davies and Allison Nicholas, which they were great Solheim Cup players at that time. But now with the pods, Pat's going to do the pods too. But Julie is the one that started with the pods, and when I was captain, I would say I kind of had the pods. I didn't have everybody tested because that's what that Julie did. She had everybody do an IQ type test about stuff, and they kind of matched you up with your pod. And back when I was captain, I wrote Julie Inkster's name down, and then I wrote down who I thought she could play with, which I thought she could play with anybody. Then I wrote Pat Hurst because Julie, Pat, Wendy Ward, who were the captains or an assistant captains the last few years, they played for me. But the thing was just trying to figure out who played best with who. Christy Kerr, who she was going to play well with. Natalie Gulbis was on my team, Paula Creamer. So you want to make sure that your team meshes, and you want to make sure that the players that play together enjoy that experience, because you want to get the best you can out of these players. So the last few years, my pods were maybe the first year was Creamer, Morgan Pressel, Lexi Thompson, Christy Kerr, and so you have these players, and they didn't ever intermingle with the other pods. My pod stayed with that pod, and we played together. And it was fun. The first year, Paula and them, they named our pod the Princess Pod, and they were definitely the Princess Pod. And it was a lot of fun. Loved it. The last year, I was the pod leader for Brittany Altamari, Lexi, Nellie, and Jessica Corda, and I think that was it. Those four. And it was so much fun being with them and watching them play as a pod leader. And you do a lot of babysitting because these players need it. And I'm the perfect mom. I have 3 daughters, so I loved taking care of them. And I was the feeder. I made all the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I carried the cart with all the food. I always asked them what they wanted. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, because all you want these players to do is play and win, and you take care of all the rest of the stuff. So it was really a lot of fun. Pat Hurst is going to be the captain this year. She'll be great because the players know her over the past 6 years. In 3 of those, she was assistant captain. They know her, and I think she'll be a great captain. She's a great player still, hits the ball a long way, and can still relate with these players. And so it'll be exciting because I think we have some great players on the team. I'm looking at right now, I know she has her assistant captains are Angela Stanford, who could be a playing assistant captain because she's pretty much on the team. So I'm not sure what she's going to do with there. She might pick another assistant captain, not sure. And then she has Michelle Wheat, who's another assistant captain, which to me, Michelle's a little young to be assistant captain, but I think she'll do a great job. So, there's a lot of strategy, like I said, that goes on. I know the year I was captain, Donna Capone was my assistant captain. And the things that, you have to do to get those girls motivated is, they're on their own, but you've got to be able to wake up in the morning and tell them something they're going to be excited about. I know when, I think the most exciting part of it was the day of singles. And what happens is each captain, the U.S. captain and the European captain, we put down on a list, like number one, I would play Julie. Number two, I would play Paula. That's how they do it. We don't know who they're writing on that list. So whoever the European captain does first, second, third, I wanted to win early. So I was heavy at the top with the players I thought was playing really good. And then I might have put in between, maybe after three, number four might have been one, maybe my weaker player that week and wasn't playing as strong. And so what they do, we put all players on this list, then we put the list together, and that's how you get the teams. So you don't know who your player is going to play. But I remember the year I was captain, I walked onto the bus on Saturday evening after our matches, and I was reading off everybody who they were playing, and Annika was on the other team, and she just was playing perfect golf. And as I read, okay, who's playing Annika? Beth Daniel. And you saw kind of the blood rush out of her face because she was like, I could see it right away that she was like, okay, wow. And then Paula Creamer, I said, you're playing Laura Davies. I saw the same thing. All the other players, I felt like they felt pretty good about who they were playing. So when we got off the bus, I looked at Beth and I said, meet me in my room, in the captain's room when you can. And I told Paula too. And so Beth comes into my room and I said, Beth, I know what you're thinking. Annika is like Superman right now. You feel like you can't beat her. I saw that look on your face. I said, but you can beat her because she can be off just a titch and you can beat her. And she says, I know, Captain, I'm going to do my best. And so when she was playing with her on Sunday, after 9 holes, I kind of was riding around. I went right by Beth and she runs up to me. She goes, I'm only one down. So I said, keep it up. But Annika ended up beating her because Annika can just make a lot of birdies. And she did that year. So when I called Paula into the captain's room, I said, Paula, I said, do not watch Laura Davies hit it because she's going to out hit you. She hits it a long way. Paula was not a long hitter, but she was my best player and she was making birdies all the time. So I looked at her, I said, you're my birdie making machine. So you just go out there and make birdies and she will not know what hit her. So we've got radios and walkie-talkies and we're listening, and she made a birdie and then she made another birdie. She ended up winning, I think, 7 and 5 and killed Laura Davies. And when I saw her, she was only 21 or 22. She comes running up to me and she was like, you were right. As soon as I started making birdies, I just killed her. And so, those kind of things go on behind the scene with the captain and the players. And it's really fun to be a part of a team like that because you have 12 individuals that play an individual sport, and then you've got to make them a team. And when I was captain for those 2 years, you watch them play, you watch how they respond under pressure. I did a lot of events. We had a lot of dinners. We had a few bus rides from one event to the other so they can get together and really get to know each other and like each other. Because when you're individual players on the tour, you don't see them very often. You don't have dinner with them. So I kept them together a lot because I wanted them to really get comfortable. And I think after those 2 years, I accomplished that. And we had a great team. We were very bonded. Everybody rooted for each other. Everybody got to know each other. So I truly felt like I had the best team I could have. And we ended up winning the Solheim Cup. And it was a feather in my cap because to be able to be a captain of any U.S. team was a thrill for me. And then for us to win was even better because the Europeans, that first year when we won in 1990, we killed them, but they got mad. And now they're really tough. And I think that's why it's so exciting because the competition is really tough. And these players are playing their heart and soul and their guts out to try and win the cup for their country. So it's pretty cool.
I had a question. You were talking about that. I don't think I ever asked you. At what point does the US and the Europe give the roster for those individual matches? Is it after day 2 in the evening, or when do they have to do that?
Well, there's a time limit, like for in the morning when they have the alternate shot, you've got to have your 12, your 4. I think there's only 4 in line before like 12 o'clock noon. So you're having to think about it, even when the matches are going on. You've got to think about who you're going to play in the afternoon.
And then the singles match is the last day. What was the time limit to have that match?
We had to have them in like 6 p.m. on Saturday afternoon.
So after the second day matches were finished, you could hand it in?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's just a question I had.
Yeah, and they might have changed that. It could be earlier. But yeah, you've got to be thinking about all that while your matches are going on. And sometimes if a player isn't playing good and you wanted her to play in the afternoon, you might decide to take her out and put somebody else in. Well, there was a cute thing. I had Michelle Redmond on my team. Very nervous player, great player, but nervous player. And she played the first match, one of the first matches on the first day, and she lost, but they played great. And so she didn't sleep really good. She was not a good sleeper when she knew she had to play a match the next day. So that after the first day, which was Friday for us, I told Michelle she wasn't playing the next morning. And so the next morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, which I was up, that's when things get moving. Christy Kerr came in. She goes, "Captain, I don't think I can play. My neck is killing me." And I'm like, okay. So I looked at Donna Capone and I said, I don't want to play Beth Daniel because I need for her to play in the afternoon and singles. I didn't want her to be wore out. And so we decided to play Michelle Redmond. So she's sound asleep. We call her cell phone. We call her room phone. We knock on her door and she doesn't answer. So I'm like, where is she? Where did she go? So we ended up going into her room. We unlocked the door, walked in the room, and she was sound asleep. This is like now 5:30 in the morning because we wanted to kind of wait till she would get up to get ready. And like I said, she was very nervous. So now she's sleeping hard because she knows she's not playing. So I kind of nudged her. I was afraid she might hit me because I wasn't sure how deep a sleep she was in. And I kind of said, Michelle. And she says, what? I said, you've got to play this morning because Christy can't. She's hurt. She jumped out of bed. She was so excited. She goes, I'm ready. I'm so rested. I feel great. So she was not nervous. She ended up winning her point that day, which was great because it really kind of set her up for singles on Sunday. And I was glad she was able to win that point for herself, not just for the team, but for her to give her some confidence. So things like that happen. And you have to really be, ready to handle any situation when you're the captain.
It's so fun to hear the behind the scenes stuff that we never know. We just see them come up on the tee and we see them playing. So that's very cool. And the other thing this year, normally, as Nancy said, the first day is on a Friday and opening ceremonies are typically on Thursday. And then Saturday, Sunday finishes out the Solheim. Because they have it over Labor Day weekend, they switched it. So Saturday is the first day, then Sunday, and then Monday is the last day. So typically that's not what happens, but because it's over the holiday weekend, they changed it. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So that's Marge raised her hand.
You're
She can't
muted.
get off. You
You're
can
still
unmute
muted.
yourself. If anyone wants to unmute yourself, you can do that.
Okay.
There you go.
Vital information. You see something you want, buy it because it won't be there.
Yes.
A ball marker, a hat, a shirt, and forget the price. Forget the price. It's your birthday. It's whatever. Get it because you're going to want it.
Yeah, get it
And
early.
go back for it and it won't be there.
Yeah. So usually our first stop is the merchandise tent to make sure that we do get, like Marge said, it goes fast. So if you do see something, buy it when you see it because it probably won't be there the next day.
And we'll give you registration. What are we saying that? We'll give you a discount card to use once in the merchandise tent. So make sure you take that discount card that one time and get all the things you want right away because they won't offer it after that first time. So you all get to know the surprises before we go because you're the first 40 people. See, you know you're getting a bag, you know you're getting a discount card. You get
That's it. We're not telling
we're not telling you anything else.
Okay.
You have to have some surprises. Does anyone else
Go
have
to
any?
the dollar store, dollar store, dollar store. Load up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sue?
That's right.
Get the red, white, and blue stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, the more red, white, and blue, the better. We might have some little tattoos. We usually do that, so you can put a tattoo on your face or hand or wherever for the event.
The crazier, the better. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
So far, so good. So far, so good. Love it.
I want to know how Kim's playing.
Kim, yeah.
She's on the golf course.
Okay,
Hope
you know
you're
what?
playing healthy and I hope you're playing good.
I just finished. Yeah, I played very well. I think I shot 77 today.
Oh.
And I played about maybe the last 4 holes with you ladies, 1 over. That's pretty good, huh?
Nice.
While I'm listening and shuffling my phone around. You ladies inspire me.
All right, that's great. Well, congratulations on your great round. And we look forward to seeing everybody at the Solheim Cup. We're excited about it. We've been to many Solheim Cups, and like Nancy said, this is one we want to take that cup back. So the more support we can give the team, the better. And we know that all of you ladies will be out there cheering the team on, and just hope that you have a great event, and it'll be a lot of fun.
And be sure, ladies, and if there's any men out there that are in the group, to if you see me walking around, please say hi and let me know you're with our group, because I'll be running around doing stuff. I'm not an assistant captain this year, so I'm going to be like everybody else, just out there watching. So it'll be kind of fun. No pressure for me this time. You get to really enjoy it. So be sure and stop me and say hi, so I can see your face and know that you're a part of our group. Okay.
Excellent. And we'll be sending out more information next week. So look for that in your emails. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to Sue or I, and we'll be happy to answer anything. So enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody, and go USA!
Yeah,
go USA! Go USA! 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 Woo!
All right.